What's up, everybody? My name is Halvu, and this is the Halvu Moto Vlog. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to do a video today talking about Reflectix DIY window coverings versus HEATSHIELD brand window coverings. Now, I have gone through two sets of DIY Reflectix window coverings since I've been living in my Honda Element. Full-time, by the way, guys. To those of you who are new to the game, I'm living full-time in my Honda Element, traveling across the country to all the national parks. I've been doing that for about 2 months now. And Reflectix is pretty much the go-to for a lot of van lifers to make their window coverings. Now, window coverings, for me at least, are essential because during the day, they block out the sun and keep your car a little cooler as the sun beats down in it all day. And at night, they give you privacy. You don't really want people looking inside of your home at night as you're, watching TV, unwinding, having dinner or whatever, right? So Reflectix is just a cheap insulation material sold by the roll at Home Depot, and it's just shiny silver. If any of you have purchased one of those cheap windshield sun deflectors, they're generally made out of some Reflectix type material. Now, it's not that sturdy of a material, but it does get the job done. Now, for me, I cut mine in the past and I duct taped, reinforced it, and I put them perfect fit to the windows, but just over time, they just kind of fell apart. I'm using these things a lot, and hiking in the national parks, I'll be leaving them. I cover all my windows when I'm out hiking because, all my stuff is in my car. I don't want it getting hot. I don't want my water container getting hot. I don't want my portable power bank getting too hot. It kind of behooves me to try to keep the car as cool as possible. And also, it's really, really hard to get a good night's sleep when the sun goes down and your car is still like 85 degrees on the inside. So super, super important to me. It's a deal breaker. I cannot live without these window coverings, but I like to have them silver on one side and black on the other side so that during the day, I can use the silver side to reflect the sun and then flip them over at night when I want that privacy, right? Usually if I'm parked in a parking lot or even somewhere where it's allowed that I'm supposed to be, right? I don't want people looking in and straight up knowing that I'm sleeping in the car. So if it's a black material, it kind of just looks like tinted windows and people just kind of walk by. No one really thinks anything of it. So here is a Reflectix window covering that I made. I personally cut this out, and this is for this window right here, obviously. And Reflectix, a good thing about Reflectix is it's so cheap. Like even the big roll that you can get is like $30, if that. And with that roll, you can cut all the windows in the Honda Element and then some. You might even be able to cut them all 2 times over if you're kind of smart about your cuts. And the first iteration of these, to get black on one side, I spray painted it with matte black spray paint. And maybe the kind of spray paint that I used was not good enough, or maybe it's just them being in the sun too long. It started to chip and get everywhere, and I knew it wasn't a long-term solution at all. So I redid everything, went back to the drawing board, and I actually just used the same tape, the black duct tape that I used. I put black tape around the edges here, right? Just kind of folded it along the edges to kind of give it a little more rigidity and structure. And I just, for the second time around, I just taped the whole backside black. And I was so excited to hit the road with these because they were pretty sturdy. And I had my privacy on one side, and I could flip them over any time to block out the sun during the day if I maybe like left the car unattended out in the sun and I went out hiking or something like that. And it worked out pretty well. The only problem was that some windows, for the Element, we have these little tiny square side windows. I would just leave those, because I was so lazy to switch them, I would just leave them black side facing out all the time. And the sun beating on the black side kind of warped the tape. The thing about the tape is it kind of like forces the panel to be a certain way. So if the tape bends, the whole thing bends. And it was kind of like warping on some of them and like kind of like making them into this convex shape, and it was not fitting anymore. They weren't fitting in the windows anymore. It wasn't a perfect fit anymore, and some of them would even fall out, and it was just really annoying for me. And you can just tell over time with them being in the windows, even the Reflectix sides, they get softer. And I didn't reinforce them. Some people reupholster them. Some people like put a layer of cardboard. And I think that would be necessary if you're gonna use Reflectix full time. I'm living here full time. I'm using them a lot more than just, you know, weekend camping. So I need them to hold up. So what I did was I just bit the bullet and I bought heat shield coverings for all the windows. I had a heat shield dashboard windshield covering, and it was amazing. It's not black, so it's always just like silver facing out, so it's not very stealthy. But for the rest of the windows, I went with the gold heat shield. It's very expensive. It probably cost maybe $250 to $300 to outfit the whole Honda Element with heat shield stuff, but it's very sturdy. They roll up, so I have a bunch of these like gold, it's like National Treasure or something, but they're black on the other side if you get the gold ones. If you get the silver, it's white on the other side, but the gold are black on the other side, so you can easily flip them. This is for the sunroof, so it doesn't need to be flipped because, you know, no one's like, only birds can see the top of your car, really. But it's nice. I'm excited to use these, blocking out the sun, flip around for privacy at night. So who knows? I might even just stop caring and just put the gold side out at night, because at this point, you know, if I'm not parked like straight up illegally, I really don't care if people assume that I'm sleeping in my car, especially if they can't prove it. But it's nice to have that option that they're black on the other side. So again, not the cheapest option, but very excited to have these heat shield window coverings.